Welcome to Popternative, where we dive into topical discussions from the worlds of pop culture, social media, and sports. Here is your host, Peter Remoliotis, a.k.a. PD Beats.
Hello and welcome to the Popternative Podcast. This is the podcast where we have digital discussions, the worlds of pop culture, social media, sports, and hockey. This is one of our exclusive NHL 2018 NHL Draft specials where we are talking to players that will have the chance to get their name called in Dallas on June 22nd and June 23rd. And my guest is a defenseman in the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League for the Drummondville Voltigeurs, Nicolas Beaudin. Nick, welcome to Popternative.
Thank you very much.
Crazy couple of weeks. How have you been mentally preparing yourself for what's to come?
You know, I'm just taking it day by day. It's really fun. It's some like busy week, and I'm just going training on ice a lot, and I'm just taking it day by day. And when draft day is gonna be there, I'm just gonna try to enjoy it.
Talk a little bit about your game. Who are you on the ice, and then talk a little bit about who you are off the ice.
Yeah, on the ice, I consider myself a two-way defenseman. I think I'm pretty good with the puck. I'm good at making plays, jumping in the rush offensively. But I think defensively, I'm getting better. I've got a great stick. I'm not the guy that's going to run everybody in the board, but I'm good with my stick, and I'm good at reading the play before it happened. And, outside the ice, I'm a calm guy. I'm in the gym a lot, on the ice a lot. I'm with my girlfriend a lot too. So that's about it, yeah.
Absolutely. There's the so to speak the TSN turning point. What was the turning point for your season? Because you understand, that you had a pretty consistent season in the Q, but at one point it really got turned up in terms of a lot of the buzz surrounding yourself going possibly in the first round. What was kind of the turning point of your season where you thought your game was really elevated, Nico?
Yeah, 2 weeks or 3 weeks into the season, I had a great conversation with my coach, Dominic Ducharme, and he told me defensively I was not playing good, and he showed me some clip, and he just told me you need to take more pride defensively, like you take offensively, and I think from that point my season turned around, and I just started playing with like more pride all over the ice.
How important do you think it is for a defenseman to have some kind of offensive ability? You have a lot of the stay-at-home defensemen, but how important do you think it is to have some elements of being offensive? Because there are some defensemen out there that they are made to just stay at home and be those guys to just defend. But having some offensive upside is important too.
Yeah, I think if you're good defensively, but you can bring some points and some offense to your team, I think it's just good for you as a defenseman, and I think that's what I have in me, and I think that's maybe why sometimes you're gonna look at me and look at another defenseman, and you're gonna like me better.
You did something very rare in the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League. You were a defenseman that was pretty much like a point per game player, which is something that doesn't happen often. What do you think constituted to that success? Was it the players that you played with? How did you get there?
Yeah, I think my coaching staff they've got a lot of confidence in me, and I think from game one that helped me a lot. And I could have been there today where I am without my teammates too. I think they did a great job all season in the system, and they just helped me play my game better.
Joe Veleno was a player that you got the chance to play with who got traded from the St. John Sea Dog after winning the President Cup. He came on, brought a lot of leadership, brought a lot of his skill. Talk a little bit about how it's been having him with you throughout this whole NHL draft experience.
Yeah, we live together. We're in the same billet, so we talk a lot. We're good buddies now. And I think on the ice, I just found him a lot. He's always available on the power play. I give him the puck, he gives it back, and I just think we're like really two good players on the power play to play together, and that's why he helped me a lot, and I think I helped him a lot too in that big season. Yeah.
The NHL Combine was a pretty exciting opportunity for a lot of players because it was kind of the opportunity to kind of show what you have for the physical testing, but the mental testing as well with the interviews. Talk a little bit about the interview process. How many teams did you interview with, and what were some of the questions like?
Yeah, I've talked to 29 teams.
Wow.
Yeah, that was like a busy week. Uh, yeah, and at first you just talk about your background, your family, and after that you talk about yourself on the ice, outside the ice, and sometimes they're gonna like push like deeper question, but it's like look all the same when you go in different team looks the same with everything.
I have to ask because I've interviewed other players as well. Did you do an interview with the Washington Capitals?
Yeah,
Did you have the bus question?
yeah, I got the last question. I didn't know what to say.
Oh man, yeah, no, because I asked a few players. Did you get the? I don't know what team asked. Did you get the? Are you a cat or a dog question?
Yeah, more like of a cat or a dog. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, because like, but it was just. Did you get any Fortnite questions?
Yeah, a lot.
Oh man,
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
were the questions though? Just like, do you play
Like,
Fortnite?
yeah, just like, are you a gamer? Like, you say yes or no. Do you play Fortnite a lot? Like, yes or no. Yeah.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
You had 29 interviews. There's a reason why people want. There's many reasons why a lot of teams think that Nicolas Beaudin will fit with their team. But why do you think you will fit in a team system?
I think I'm good. I'm good at doing the little details. I'm really good, and I think when you get draft, everyone's really good in the draft, and I think when you get at the NHL level, it's just the little details that are gonna make the difference. And I think in a system, when I know my role, I'm really good at executing the little details.
Who are some players that you grew up, maybe not modeling your game after, because Nicolas Beaudin wants to become Nicolas Beaudin, but were there some players that you watched growing up, offensive defenseman maybe, so to speak, that you kind of was like an influence in your game?
In the last few years, I've watched Torrey Krug a lot, and I think he's not the biggest guy, but he's got a bomb, and he can shoot, he can pass. He's good at seeing the play before it happened, and his skating's pretty good too. So if I can become a Torrey Krug, I would love it.
The CHL in general, I'm talking about the Quebec Regional Hockey League, the OHL, and the WHL, is a very interesting situation because you are all kids playing in these leagues that have a pro setting. You're treated like a pro. You have to act like a pro. You have a schedule. You have to have you have practices. You have road games, road trips. You interact with the fans. You have a lot of press. It's the whole package. How are you adapting to that? It's a very interesting situation. You are a kid playing in a pro setting. You are learning you're learning every day, and you have to act like a pro, and you're put in this pro setting. Was it challenging at first when you first started with the QMJHL?
Yeah, when I started, I was 16, so you pass from midget AAA to the Q, and I think you just need that maturity if you wanna play in the QMJHL at 16 or 17, and I think that's what I showed. So it's not like difficult for me because I'm a pretty mature guy, but maybe for other people to always act like a pro, maybe it's more difficult because everyone like is watching you everything you're doing. So yeah, you just need to be mature enough to play in the queue.
You mentioned a little bit, your hockey sense, making plays click and everything. Was that kind of some of the things that you think made it easier for the QMJHL to bring you in as a 16-year-old? Like, what were some of the reasons why you think you had the chance to play at such a young age in Major Junior?
Yeah, I think it was my hockey sense, my ability of seeing the play before it happened. Sometimes I'm gonna make pass that other defensemen don't see, and my skating and my skills at 16 were not that good, and I think I've always played at the best level because of my hockey sense, and now my skills and my skating is becoming better and better. So I think that's why I'm becoming a better player.
Talk a little bit about all the hype throughout the draft. I mean, I understand that throughout the year, you're focusing on the Drummondville Voltigeurs. That's the task at hand. But, it's like a fly on the windshield. It's going to be there. The NHL Draft, it's going to buzz. I mean, it's an exciting time. It's a buzz that you kind of want around. But talk a little bit how you were kind of blocking that out a little bit and focusing on your team in Drummondville, and then maybe thinking about it when you had to, like at the combine, so to speak.
Yeah, I've took an approach this year, a day-by-day approach. And I think, every day, like I think it's good to take a day by day approach because you can adjust every day. If something happen, if something don't happen, you can just adjust to it. And I think I was just there this year to help my team. And Dominic Ducharme did a great job with me just to help the team, not to think about the draft. And I think having Xavier Bernard, Olivier Rodrigue, and Joe Veleno with me, that took a lot of pressure out of my shoulder because we were 4 guys with like a draft year, even if like we have Nick Gay, Lynch, and other guys too. But we were 4, 5, 6 guys on the list on the draft year, and I think that helped me a lot too.
We'll get to the NHL draft, but specifically the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League. What do you think can we expect from Nicolas Beaudin and the Voltigeurs next season in the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League?
Yeah, we're gonna have a pretty good team. We're there to win next year.
Maxime Comtois.
Yeah, Maxime Comtois is coming. I know him pretty good. And the Drummondville Voltigeurs are going to win next year. We're going all out. We're going to win the President Cup and the Memorial Cup. So we have I think we have everything. Maybe you never know, maybe 1 or 2 trade, but
the trade deadline.
Yeah, but we're gonna be there. We're gonna be top 2, top 3, and we're gonna battle until the end. Yeah.
And what is kind of some of the things that you want to kind of focus on in terms of your game specifically? Is there anything? I mean, you're gonna learn every year like new things and bigger, better, faster, stronger. That's what they always say, right? But is there anything specifically that Nicolas Beaudin needs to work on?
I think just like being stronger everywhere on my body. I think if I can get stronger in my legs, I can be more powerful. My stride can be more powerful, and my agility too. I think I'm a pretty smooth skater, but I can be more agile, quicker. And I think if I can improve that this summer, I'm just gonna be better for the team next year.
We have to talk about the World Junior Hockey Championship because that is an event that also, like the NHL Draft, a lot of players like yourself look at that on the event, and that's a tournament they really, really want to play in. Some of your teammates, like Maxime Comtois, have played in that tournament. Talk a little bit about kind of the magnitude that international tournaments have on players like that. Like, the Worlds, the U18s, like, those are huge events as well, and you kind of need those in your career, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I've never made Team Canada. I've never made U16, 17, 18. And I think if I have the chance just to go at a camp at the U20 or just like a tryout, it's gonna be I'm gonna take pride in that. And if I don't, I'm gonna take motivation. I'm gonna take it as a motivation and just like working hard and to show everyone I should have been there.
What do you think has been the biggest obstacle for you this year in the QMJHL? Was there any adversity that you think you faced?
Yeah, I think at first I started on the second pairing, and Dom Ducharme challenged me to play against the best line every night, and I think it was more of a challenge, and I think I've did great, and he loves when you answer to the challenge, and I think that's what I did this year. So I took that adversity as a challenge, and I think I did a pretty good job.
Perfect. Well, Nick, we'll wrap up, and thank you so much for coming on the show. I know it's very busy. I understand you leave tomorrow for the draft, which is exciting, and it's just going to be a good time, to go down there, enjoy everything, and be with some family as well, right?
Yeah, at the start of the year, I didn't even know or think I would have get draft, and now I have the chance to live that moment with my family, with my girlfriend. So it's just going to be awesome, and I'm gonna enjoy it.
Why should an NHL team draft Nicolas Beaudin?
I think because I'm a two-way defenseman. I think in my zone I'm just getting bigger. My stick is good, my skating is good, and I can be a guy that is good in his zone, but can produce too. I'm a guy that's gonna, in the neutral zone, I'm good at finding player. I'm good at reading the play before it happens, and I think I can just help a team because I can I can make some points, and I can be good defensively too.
Perfect. Well, Nick, thank you so much for coming on the show. Where could people follow you on social media?
Instagram. Yeah, Instagram or Twitter. I'm both. I'm on Twitter and Instagram. So yeah.
What's the handle?
Beaudin92.
Okay, perfect. Well, seriously, man, thank you so much for coming on the show. Bonne chance et lâchez pas. Eh?
Thank you very much.
Well, this has been Pop Turnative. You can catch previous episodes Pop Turnative, youtube.com/ Pop Alternative for the video episodes, Spotify, iTunes for the audio. Until next time, this is Nicolas Beaudin and Peter Beats signing off.
Thank you for tuning in to Pop Alternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Pop Alternative on YouTube. Be sure to like Pop Alternative on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.